Okay, so hello everyone. I am delighted to welcome everyone here today with us. Thank you so much for joining, guys. Your presence here shows your commitment to exploring your future career path and exploring and making informed information about your decisions. So let me briefly introduce myself and then we can get started with the session. Khushi, if you can, the next slide, please. Okay, so hi everyone. I'm Islam Boujama. I am a senior at Bourguiba Pioneer High School of Tunisia. Some of you may know me as the past vice president, founder, and current general counselor of Interact Club Gymnast Glory, and I'm a member in the competitive college club of Tunisia. But I'm also here today as a past RISE intern. I was enrolled in the internship of strategy and research with RISE Global Education. If you have any information, if you have any questions about my journey with RISE, you can address it probably later in the question and answer sections. So today's session is is a masterclass on career guidance, as mentioned in the posters and the emails that I've sent you. Um, and our mentor is going to be Yash Mundada, who's actually the co-founder of Rise Global Education. He has expertise in here, and he'll be guiding you through several key points that you have to bear in mind while applying for US universities or studying abroad, for example, in the US or UK universities. So now I can hand it over to Yash. I just want to make you know, guys, that focus on every single information. They are going to be extremely helpful. And don't hesitate if you have any questions because we have a section of question and answers. So you can address all of your questions. And now I can hand it over to Yash. So Yash, the floor is yours. And thank you so
Yes,
much.
yes, thank you so much, Islam, and thank you for the lovely introduction. And great to see all of you here. Thank you for taking the time out for being here. I think it is late in the evening for all of you, so late on a Friday night. So thank you very much for doing this. And yeah, thank you, Kushi, for making the slides as well. I think I'll give a quick, brief introduction about myself, and from there on, I can dive right into why all of you are here, which is to know more about career guidance in general and how why studying abroad is important, etc., etc. So my name's Yash. As Islam already kindly mentioned, I am the co-founder of Rise Global Education. I'm a former software engineer at Amazon, and Rise is a platform that helps thousands of high schoolers connect with PhD mentors from leading universities in order to conduct research. So that is pretty much the gist of what we do. And we would love to have a lot of you on our program. So Kushi will be sharing more details in the chat about our program, its pricing, and just more information. I think she can do that afterwards, perhaps on mail as well, if that's posing to be an issue right now, Kushi. That's fine. Um, and yeah, I think Kushi, can we go to the next slide, please? Yep. So just to give you a quick session roadmap, so here's what we'll cover today. So firstly, why studying abroad is worth it, what it gives you, and what local partners don't. A step-by-step process with timelines as well. A little bit about scholarships and financial aid for those of whom it might concern, and some practical steps where you can start. And then at the end, we'll do a quick Q&A. I don't have too much time at the moment, but we will still have time for a Q&A. So yeah, Kushi, next slide, please again. Yes, so why study abroad? So let me pick on someone from the audience to give an answer. I think Aya, can you give an answer, please? Do you have an answer for this? Let's make this a bit interactive. Aya, are you there? No? Eddie? No. I think I will just tell you then, I guess. So there are primarily two, three reasons why studying abroad is more than just getting a degree. At the end of the day, a lot of our like students and researchers agree that the biggest takeaway of studying abroad is not the classes or the curriculum, but how an international community really shapes problem-solving skills and expands perspectives. So, for example, I myself studied in a different country to where I was born, and I know how much that affected my own understanding and perspective of how things work. right? Another thing is just different immersions in cultures and networks. You meet people who you would never have met in your normal time in your school. For example, I know most of you are based in Tunisia. You would not have met these people when you were been in school. It's just great discussing different topics with people from like 10 different countries, and it really changes the way that you think. At the end of the day, a lot of us do go to university for making an impact, finding jobs, and all of this can just be enhanced when we have a global mindset. And that's honestly what studying abroad really gives you. Kushi, can we go to the next slide, please? Yeah, so a little bit about the academic application process, right? So again, there is no one size fits all, but at the end of the day, there are a few things I would say that are common in a lot of the applications. So firstly, for those who are applying this year, um, and it is a bit late if you're applying this year and you haven't planned your idea out, but for fall 2026 admissions, most deadlines are in December to January. Your early decisions will happen obviously in the next month or so. And this means you should finalize your college list. You should have already finalized your college list for that matter in August of this year. And similarly, if you're going for 2027 admissions, as in if you're in 11th grade right now, then you should be looking to finalize your college list in August 2026. Similarly, you should finish all your standardized tests. I would personally recommend by July, August. If that is not possible, please do finish them by at least October of whenever you're planning to do your application and give your recommenders at least 1 or 2 months notice. The reason for this is everyone can write a recommendation letter themselves and then tell their recommenders to sign it, but it honestly doesn't have the same impact. There's a reason why letters of recommendation exist, and that reason is simply that your recommenders can talk much more highly about you and specific nuances about yourself than you would know, right? Um, a few more common applications, a few more common components of the application process, essays and statements of purposes, right? So I was actually looking at a program recently called the Schwarzman Scholars, which is a master's program. It's not for undergraduate, but it's very similar. So in that, there was an essay where you had to write about leadership experience. Similarly, different universities will have different essay criteria for you to write about, and pretty much the same. There is always a theme that you have to write about that is reflected across all universities, whether that is leadership, whether that is uh, how you help students, etc., etc. In addition to that, you also have to write a statement of purpose, and that is pretty much common for all universities. In a statement of purpose, a key thing to remember is instead of just answering the question, right? So, for example, if someone asks you why computer science, you don't want to say, um, I like computer science because it gets me a good job, right? That is not the answer a university is looking for. They're looking for how will you be a change maker of tomorrow? And the way to do this is to really explain specifically with anecdotes from your life and from your prior experiences as to why this really matters. For example, uh, for the why computer science question, you would want to say something like, I want to study computer science in order to explore the intersection of AI and healthcare, and how you would explain, for example, how working at some hospital or seeing a incident at some hospital inspired you. Specificity honestly wins here. Finding programs. So there are many ways to find programs. I'm sure all of you are aware, and if you are attending this webinar, uh, I'm sure that all of you have some basic understanding of how to look for things on the internet. There are a few rankings that you can follow, obviously. Q's ranking is the best ranking to follow, the most kind of accredited everywhere. You can also talk to your school admissions counselors if you are interested, and if you would like to send us an email as well with any questions, we'd be more than happy to answer and help you out with that list as well. Um, some other crucial elements, I think, of the application process that are usually overlooked. One is, as it says, meeting deadlines. So this is not school. If you miss a deadline, you've missed it. You have to apply next year, right? So please treat it like that. This is a lot more serious. Universities do not take missed applications very lightly at all. And if you miss an application, it is gone. You're not getting it back, right? Similarly, as I mentioned before, showcasing your unique personality, right? This is extremely important. At the end of the day, um, these people are looking at, if, for example, in the case of a university like Harvard, they're looking at tens, if not hundreds of thousands of applications, right? They don't have the time to uh, really know about just generic things. They want to know what exactly has caused you to be who you are, right? So showcase your personality, highlight your unique experiences, and use this all to craft compelling essays. Kushi, can we go to the next slide, please? So I think scholarships and financial aid is also something that is on top of everyone's mind. Scholarships and financial aid are very important, as we all know. Um, it is very expensive to attend university abroad. Typically, it can cost anywhere in the range of uh, $300,000 if it is, unsubsidized. So it's super important for a lot of students in order to get scholarships. So how does one get scholarships? So there are many, many different ways. I am not too sure what the exact process is in Tunisia, but generally the way scholarships work are that they are either merit-based or they are need-based. So merit-based scholarships are based on your academic performance and your performance across different factors that the university is looking for. So many times this will also involve different factors such as sports or winning other competitions, etc., etc., more than just grades. And another major criteria, which top universities like Harvard, MIT, etc., look at, need, right? So if your family income is honestly, if you can prove that your family income is below a certain level, then many universities will be happy to meet whatever 100% of your demonstrated need is. Um, Again, there are program specific like there are program specific funds that are in many other countries. So please look at what is specific to Tunisia. Many times I know we ourselves at RISE have partnered with Education USA. Education USA is known to be helping out with scholarships. So please talk to your local Education USA advisor. I'm sure they will also be able to help out. Again, if you would like to be put in touch, please do ask us and we will put you in touch with the Education USA advisor as well. Um, and yeah, how does one apply? At the end of the day, it's all about starting early and looking for the right things, knowing when the deadlines are, and actually applying with the correct amount of effort, right? So please consistently try and look at scholarship portals. Again, there are some specific country-wise scholarships that are available. I would strongly suggest that you look at those as well. Have a good search of those. I know we're all from different countries probably in this chat, so I don't have any specific kind of examples to give to you. But at the end of the day, you have to look through these university websites. There are many scholarship databases as Kushi has put on the slides as well, College Board, FastWeb, Scholarship Portal, etc., etc. And you will find a lot more information here. Kushi, can we go to the next slide, please? Yeah, sure. Quick break. Anyone have any questions so far? I think I'm going to take two questions for sure. So why don't we pick on someone? And this time, please respond if you are getting picked on. So Ines, no? Fair enough. Islam, do you have any questions?
I just want to tell them that if anyone has like they do want to connect with Education USA here in Tunisia, I'm actually enrolled in the competitive college club, so I know the Education US advisor, who's Miss Ilham Dada. So if any of you want to ask her a question or want to be more enrolled in the process, I can actually guide you through this and give her contact to you guys. So you just have to request it, and I can help.
Yeah, for sure. That would be very helpful. And I think Miriam has a question. Miriam, you can feel free to unmute your mic and speak as well.
No, any question?
About the fees to apply, I think. Yeah, so the fees to apply really depends from university to university. I don't think there is any uh, kind of, you know, uh, specific fees that I can give you, but it really depends. So there are some private universities which are very, very expensive. They can cost upwards of like $300,000, $400,000 for the entire course. And on the other hand, there are many subsidized universities as well. So it really depends. So I don't think there's a kind of, you know, one size fits all answer for that. Yeah. Ahmed?
Do you hear me?
Yeah.
Sorry. I just want to ask how competitive is the process of applying to the funding and the scholarships?
I mean, as you can imagine, it is super competitive. The uh, process really depends from university to university again. Like if you're applying to Harvard for funding, it would be more competitive than applying to a, I don't know, top 50 university. But at the same time, everything is extremely competitive. There are hundreds of thousands of students applying every year. And it is extremely important, as I said, to uh, just get all your applications in place. And I think, as Miriam also said, right, the um, Harvard acceptance rate is 4%, but again, you have to consider that you guys are international applicants for the most part, right? It's even lower for international applicants. Uh, so that is something to consider, that the acceptance rate is actually lower than 4%. What I would recommend is you can connect with Islam. She will be able to put you in touch with the Education USA advisors, who'll probably be able to give you a better idea of, uh, how to really take scholarships forward.
Um,
I think, yeah,
yeah,
yeah, go on. Sorry.
I just want to tell them that concerning the fee waivers, actually, once you are on the college board and you start applying for US universities, you are going to fill out the applications through like the Common App, and there you can actually apply for fee waivers. So you don't have to pay for the application submission. So this is concerning the fee waivers. And concerning the scholarships, you are going to, it was actually mentioned before, you are going to apply through the CSS profile, which is going to be submitted for all of your universities. And they likely are going to, if you do qualify, then you're probably going to get the scholarship, but you have to get accepted into the universities at first. Yeah, that's what I want to say. Thank you.
For sure. And I think if we can just go to the next question, I think there's one more slide left, and then I can open the floor up to questions. Overall. Do we have another slide left? Yeah. So, what can you get started with from tomorrow, right? The most practical step is, regardless of your age, please start now, right? There is so much to prepare. I'm sure Islam can be testifying to how much there honestly is to prepare. You have to research your universities, you have to prepare your documents, you need to prepare your statements of purposes, you need to build your profile, whether that's through extracurriculars, leadership, research, and just generally unique experiences such as internships that Islam was part of at Rise as well. These are so, so important in order to really build a holistic profile that university admissions committees look at and are impressed, right? Because at the end of the day, there are a lot of students applying, all of whom have very, very similar profiles. I think after this, we can open the floor up to questions and yeah, happy to take it from there. So I think Miriam's putting something in the chat. Um, do we have a specific number of universities to apply to? Islam, do you want to take that up?
Yes, I think through the Common App, the maximum is like 23 universities, I think. I have to check this, but it is in the average of 18 to 20 universities if you're applying for the Common App. And for example, and probably if you want to apply for other universities, you can go through the website of each single university and apply. I mean, if you are if you applied for more of the maximum than of Common App, then you can just go to each single university's website and you just have to fill the application in there. So it's actually a hard and overwhelming process, but after all, it is rewarding.
Yeah, for sure. Marvin?
We've talked earlier about the letters of recommendation, and I was wondering which teachers you'd recommend I have them write for me, like teachers from freshman, sophomore, or junior year. And are there any specific subjects they teach that you, I guess, are better or some way?
No, I think the main way you want to write letters of recommendation is you want someone who can really um, speak about your exceeding abilities in a certain field, right? So you want someone who can speak very specifically. For example, if you're doing something in, I don't know, if you're applying for mathematics, you want someone who can really talk about why you would be a good candidate academically. Then you want another person who can talk about you in a different light. So you want two, three letters of recommendation. It depends from university to university again. But you want someone more important than the kind of position that person is at. For example, if I'm getting the uh, like school principal to write my letter of recommendation or the headmaster to write my letter of recommendation versus if I get my teacher to write my letter of recommendation, but they know me much better, the teacher's LOR would be considered better. So please keep that in mind when you're getting uh, letters written as well, that the kind of closeness with which the person has seen you really, really matters. Yeah. Cool. I think there's one more in the chat box. What is the thing that needs the longest time to be prepared? And what time and age do we start preparing for scholarships? I think the most important thing, in my personal opinion, is building your profile. This is a multi-year commitment. You can't just suddenly wake up one day and say that, I want the best profile possible. That's not going to happen. So you really need to start early for that, and that can be done through a ton of different things. As Islam said, that can be done through research is just one example. I think that can be done through different extracurriculars, sports, leadership. If you run clubs, for example, Islam organized this workshop. This is a good example of leadership. Similarly, you guys can do a lot of different things in your schools as well, right? Um, yes. Any other questions? Do we need TOEFL for the application? Honestly, it depends from university to university and which country you're from. I would recommend reading the application guidelines. Yes. All right. Do we have anyone else who has any questions? Yes, Ahmed.
Just I want to ask, like, what is the most common mistake students usually make when applying?
I think it's not starting soon enough, frankly. You need to start now. I think we've written that 4 times in the slides. It's very, very important that you get started on time and you spend enough time on your application and you spend enough thought. If you think that, oh, it's just like 3, 4 letters that I need to finish and a couple of thousand words and I get it done in the last 2, 3 weeks, that is not going to happen. And it's very obvious when someone has rushed through their application. So it's something that you need to start well in advance. Yeah. Well, I think where can we apply? I think this is like a very generic question. I think you need to firstly, I would suggest reading up about the schools that you want to apply to, and then seeing how to apply and where to apply, etc., etc. Is there any program that is more promising? Um, Again, I think you can refer to the university rankings in order to get a better idea of that. This is a generic question, I think. Yeah. Cool. Any other questions, guys? Happy to answer for 1 or 2 minutes more that I may. Cool, perfect. I think if we don't have any other questions, we can wrap this one up. And thank you all. So I would strongly recommend that all of you can check out our social media where we keep posting updates about foreign admissions, US admissions, etc. Please do check that out. You can contact us and visit our you can visit our website at riseglobaleducation.com, and you can contact us as well on mail. The mail is in the website, so you can feel free to contact us there. Perfect. Thank you so much. And yes, feel free to reach out to Islam if you have any questions, and she can forward those to us as well.
Yes.
Right.
Thank you so much, guys, for joining us today. And thank you so much, Yash, for these information.